Hi everyone. So for our second episode, our second podcast, we will discuss about how the crypto ecosystem has evolved since the creation of Bitcoin. And for this, we have a great guest, Java. Could you just tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. Hi. Thanks for having me. Josh is my name, and I am from University College London. I am a lecturer in in financial computing. I am also affiliated with the university's Center for Blockchain Technologies. I teach blockchain technologies and digital finance at the university's computer science department. And thanks again for having me.
So yeah, as you know, guys, in the last episode we talked about Bitcoin and the technology behind it and the rise of blockchain. But after Bitcoin, one of the things that people probably heard of the most when they think of blockchain is Ethereum. So we wanted to ask you, Java, why was Ethereum created? And can you explain this a little bit more about what smart contracts are?
So Ethereum is the second largest blockchain in the world, and it gained a lot of traction, as you have mentioned. Mostly is because that it supports a smart contract, which, as a matter of fact, Bitcoin blockchain also does, but only in a very limited fashion. And with Ethereum, it was really game changer in the sense that people can do so many amazing things. They can build a lot of decentralized applications on top of this particular blockchain. So back to your question, what is actually a smart contract? Well, a smart contract is pretty much just a piece of code, really. A smart contract to its bone is just a piece of software that is running on top of a blockchain. It can be Ethereum, it can be any other blockchain that supports smart contracts. It's since it's deployed and operated on a blockchain, it has some features that differ from the softwares that we deal with on a daily basis. For example, it's immutable in the sense that once it's been deployed, the code cannot be changed, but we have to add a little footnote there. There are different ways to also upgrade a smart contract. There are ways to deploy a smart contract such that in the future you can also update it, and there are also parameters that you can tweak, but that's just a footnote. But essentially, the beauty of having this piece of software running on top of blockchain is that it's transparent. Everybody can see the code that deployed on chain, and they understand the rules set by the code. Well, I wouldn't say they understand, but at least it's public. It's transparent to the general public, such that in some sense we can say that the software is fair in the sense that everybody can see and can examine its logic. It also, of course, opens up a lot of security issues as everybody has access to the smart contract code. Hackers would also be testing the code and see whether there are vulnerabilities, bugs that they can exploit or take advantage of. That's the side effect of this. But of course, smart contract security aspects are also evolving, and we have a lot of collective effort invested in this aspect to make smart contracts more robust, more secure, also more user-friendly, but most importantly, more secure for investors' funds.
Thank you. And you explained smart contracts really, really well. And you also mentioned these dApps, these dApps. What can people do with these dApps? We hear a lot about decentralized finance. I think it's a topic that's maybe of great interest to the youth. What is actually decentralized finance, and why does it matter?
Yes, so dApps are decentralized applications. Well, those are basically applications running on top of the blockchain, and their logic is written inside of different smart contracts. Can be one piece of smart contract, can be more complicated. dApps would consist of multiple smart contracts. Decentralized finance applications are I would say, a special category of dApps. It's more finance focused and is recently gaining a lot of traction. the most popular DeFi categories are decentralized exchanges, such as Uniswap, Balancer, PancakeSwap, and lending protocols such as Aave and Compound. And then we also have, on top of those categories, basic categories, we call them DeFi primitives, are the aggregators. We have DEX aggregators such as 1inch, and then we also have yield aggregators such as Yearn Finance and Harvest and Pickle. So those are just to name a few. Those are the probably most prominent DeFi applications. Yeah, so different from traditional financial applications. Again, they inherit the advantage of smart contracts in the sense that their rules are transparent and open to the general public. So everybody sees what is going on. For example, if I go to Uniswap to swap a token for a different token, I can see the algorithm that calculates what exactly the exchange algorithm. In this particular case with decentralized exchange, this algorithm is called bonding curve that are particular to automated market making exchanges. I can see this rule. I can also see from the smart contract how much the protocol takes. So a protocol would sometimes take a fraction of the token that would be swapped out. So they would retain a fraction of that as some kind of fee. This would act as some kind of protocol revenue, which also makes sense because protocols, they're just like any other entities. They also need to operate. They also have some kind of cost. So a healthy amount of fee would also support the sustainability of a protocol. So that also makes sense. But the good thing about protocols is that they're deployed on chain and everybody can see the exact amount of fee that is being charged. So yeah, that was with decentralized exchanges. Another DeFi primitive I can just briefly touch upon is lending protocols, where, well, with decentralized exchanges, the exchange rate will be automatically calculated based on a pre-programmed algorithm. With lending protocols, what's been automatically calculated is the interest. So the lending interest and the borrow interest. This is also a pre-written algorithm that calculates, what exact interest the lending protocol should offer to lenders and what interest rate the lending protocol should charge from borrowers. Usually these two rates are calculated based on the utilization ratio of funds. So how much the token has been borrowed out and how much the token was deposited into the protocol in the first place. So yeah, that's lending protocols. And then we have, on top of those primitives, we have aggregators. I said 1inch, for example, as a DEX aggregator, it will examine different exchange routes from different decentralized exchanges and offer you the best route that gives you the best exchange deal. With the yield aggregators, they would collect funds from retail investors and algorithmically examine the best investment strategy and then allocate your funds to those investment strategies and then harvest or farm yields for retail investors, for example. So yeah, so that's pretty much the kind of the general high level overview of DeFi.
And briefly, you mentioned there's retail investors. Can anyone use decentralized finance? Can anyone decide to lend on Aave? Can anyone decide to use these aggregators?
Yes. Well, the threshold is low in the sense that, yes, it's open to everybody. It's a decentralized ecosystem. There's no central authority. There's no censorship. So yes, pretty much everybody can use it. But why would I say pretty much, and why not everybody? Because the threshold in terms of tech savviness is still there. To some extent, you need to understand what a wallet is. You need to know how to, well, at least, how to operate a wallet. You need to know how to do for example, on-ramp to get your first batch of crypto funds in the first place, then you can play with DeFi, right? So all these are kind of potential impediments for the more general public. For example, so there's always this grandma test. Can my grandma do it? Well, nobody's stopping your grandma from doing this, from using this protocol. But I believe the space can still work a little bit on user friendliness, right? So because my grandma will need to understand how to install probably a browser wallet, and then how to put funds in it. So there's a bit of threshold there. But in general, as long as you can learn, you're willing to learn, the threshold to interact with different DeFi protocols is very low.